Hi, welcome to Family Sense. Family Sense is dedicated to equipping every man, every woman, every husband, every wife with practical wisdom on family and marriage, especially in these toughest times. This is a production of No Regrets Communication, a division of Hope Education Network. Should you have any questions or need any information, please feel free to contact us on 0772 518 554. You can also contact us on 0754 734 738. You can also email us on noregrets@counselor.com. Right now, join in for insights from today's session. God bless you.
I want to ask a question. How many worlds did God create? One. So where does third world and whatever other worlds come from? Now when it is nailed in somebody's mind through the years and keeps building up, the only thing we realize that we can only do something if we get a funder from wherever, and everything is available here. If only we looked at them with God's true eyes. And I know why I was instructed never to look for foreign aid, or even for any go and beg, write proposals. Why? By going through it, building up from scratch and moving. I even made a budget of 160 million shillings to initiate the work. God's work. But he gave me 6,000 shillings. Yeah, now that, yes, I see your need, now 6,000 what? Shillings. And please, yes, I want you to actually, 6,000 shillings was a bus fare to a place called Otuboi. That's a story for another day. So sometimes we're also waiting for too much, to get too much before we do anything. That's very dangerous. We despise what we have. Don't despise even the little that we have. Don't despise that little idea. That was purely prophetic utterance. When you say, those little ideas, follow through them and pursue them and keep nurturing them. Build them up. That's what eventually becomes a system of work. Like our friends here have already talked about it. And they have shown, our brother Vincent has just been sharing. So, I was struggling, but when I reorganized, again things became less stressful. Why? A choice to say, let me do something with what I have. So if you've been despising yourself, you had better change your mind on that matter. There is more that we can talk about on system of work. But we've seen very well. Up to this level, I would say enough up to this level. Okay? And that's why we are moving to getting rewards. It's not yet finished, but you know, like you move in layers, slowly, little by little,
Yes.
get in there. I want to ask to challenge ourselves. You remember the times of who? Of Elijah. How many people did Elijah have to stand with to challenge the status quo? He was almost just one man who chose to stand and say, if you are for God, be for God. If you are for Baal, be for Baal. But we cannot live here, there, wavering in between. But meanwhile, he actually was so lonely that he thought he was alone. Why? For those who have read, what did you find in there? There were some, how many?
7.
But they were hiding and doing nothing. Forgive him. If he didn't take a stand, would they even would they even have come out?
No.
But by the challenge of one man, the entire nation was redeemed. Don't wait for the many. How many people were needed to change Babylon? 4 million, like this, just 4. So this entire population of 44 million people doesn't need many people. It just takes one person. You who is seated where you are. You choose to say, I'm going to do my role in the settings of God. Where I am, I choose to take the path. You do so. Yes, it is very hard work. Yes, it is very challenging. Yes, it can appear overwhelming. Push it in there. That's what will make a difference. We have said values have been broken. Our values, by the way, what are those values we are talking about? What are those values we are talking about, which we say have been broken? What are they? We talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk around. But how about the value of honesty? Just honesty. Isn't it a value something to do? How do we build honesty? I'm just giving an example. And how does honesty benefit? Until we deal with things like that kind, we shall keep rotating around. But it's our responsibility. It is actually your responsibility and my responsibility. And everyone who is here to take the challenge. Where Mrs. Kayondo left us was on slide number 6. On slide 6, she showed us work done should be what? Rewarded. And she emphasized the word varied forms. Work done should be rewarded in varied forms. And she was emphatic also on telling us something. And what did she tell us? Sometimes we think the rewards are limited to money. But let me tell you, the truth is, reward does not begin with money. Money is just the end of it all. And if we don't see the entire process of getting the rewards, we actually even miss the money. And we keep wallowing in luck. And that's very dangerous for us. And she even told us, and she's been doing it very well, the barriers to getting rewarded. First of all, one of them is ignorance. Ignorance. And she gave a very wonderful example of our brother Jacob. He went with a very clearly defined what? Purpose to his uncle's place. I am going to find a wife. He didn't lose track of that. So when he got to Laban, his wife, when he was asked about wages, he readily will say, hey, yes, I came here to marry, and I already eyed someone within your family. And she is Rachel. Say, oh, okay, no problem. You will have her. Okay? Then what happened? When it came to time to be paid, what was he paid? He was paid something different. Somebody said, no, I didn't work for that. I worked for this one. Focus. Being focused in what you're looking out for. When you're not focused, you will always be moving and meandering and walking around and about and not arriving nowhere. But the man said, okay, I have been cheated, but I worked for Rachel. My focus was Rachel. We shall see the importance of focus as we move along. He was paid something different. He said, no, but I worked for the other. And I'm ready to do what? To work. And what did he say in the text which is there? That the man did what? Worked. And he was told 7 years. And 7 years appeared to be like what? A few days. Did you read the text?
Yes.
You read read the text, open it there. You have your Bibles. The man worked for what? 7 years. But to him, they were like a day's work. Such a person who is not ignorant of what he is up to, such a person gets rewarded. What are you up to? What are you seeking out for? Sound clear. Is such a person confused? No. So we have to deal with ignorance. He knew exactly what he wanted out. And when he was given something different, he said, okay, yes, I have worked this, but I will not complain. I will focus. I came here I had a very clear focus. And in work, sometimes you are focusing on something and something tries to derail you to do what? Don't lose focus of the other. Keep pushing. Get in there. All together, people. Now, foolishness. Can I repeat that? She so ably did that. But if you look at number 3 in that slide, it says, spark on the system of what? Getting rewards in varied forms. That's what we want to spark on today. We want to spark that. How do you get rewards from the work that you do? All together. Thank you, Mrs. Kayondo, that you really guided us on this matter. Even relatives, we work with them. No, you don't have to be paid. After all, we are the same families, and they become more exploitative than even one who is not your relative, right? Right? And then you look this way, but again, he's my relative. How do I handle? You look the other way, and you complain. And what does it do to the family? It actually breaks the family. But we talked about dealing with matters of family and what in the last year so much, right? Yeah. So today we are talking about system of getting what? Rewards. That's where we're going to focus. And the system of rewards, if you look at them, we need to build it. You don't just suddenly get it, but you must be very well equipped to understand how it actually works. Otherwise, you'll work so hard and still fail to be rewarded, and you end up complaining, and you end up wallowing even in lack, and even breaking your own family and destroying yourself. And that's not good. That's not what? Good for any family. All right? So, it begins with diligence. The system of work of getting rewarded begins with what? Diligence. Are you seeing that circle there? Yes. Yes. Can you look at Proverbs 22:29?
Proverbs 22:29?
Yes.
I'm reading from the King James Version.
King James Version.
Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men.
Thank you. Can you speak it again? Who has understood? Of course, with the current versions of English, one does not understand. But I will simplify for you. Do you see a man who is what?
Diligent.
Diligent in his business. Underline the word diligence in business. Diligent in business. He will stand before kings. He will not stand before mean men. He will not stand before commoners. Kings of all kinds will get to him. Now, when we talk about kings, people begin thinking it is like you go to the king of Buganda, Kabaka, then you go to the king of what? Japadola, then you go to the king of, Ankole was, that one was denied. All right? All kings of, say, the Musevenis. These are kings, okay? It is people who have authority, who take decisions. If you are diligent in your business, you end up doing what? In the company of what? Of kings, of people who take authority, who decide, who make decisions every day. So, diligent in business takes you to the presence of what? Kings. People who make what? Decisions. You see that? Another version. I want us to compare this.
Another one.
Yes.
Do you see a man skillful in his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before obscure men.
Are you seeing that picture? Do you see a man who is what? Skilled in his work.
Remember that you're engaged in a family sense gathering, which is dedicated to equipping every man, every woman, every husband, every wife with practical wisdom on family and marriage. I hope you're enjoying yourself.
Do you see a man who is what? Skilled in his work. So where we had diligence, in the same place we are having what? Skill in his work. And where there is business, what are we talking about? Work. So business is really what makes you busy. That's what business is. Are we together? So diligence in business. It's the same as what? Skillful work. Do your work skillfully. You will stand before people who make what? Decisions. Are we together, people? Yes, please.
There is the Message Bible. Observe people who are good at their work. Skilled workers are always in demand and admired. They don't take a back seat to anyone.
Beautiful. That's the point. Look carefully at what? Somebody who does a truly good work, who is always looking out for good work. He's not doing good work by accident. It is his pattern to do good work every time. Such a person will always be in demand. Such a person, people will always look out for him. He will not miss. He will have work again and what? Again. That's the point. And when we say kings, I like people who grab God's truth and apply it to themselves. And then they begin to say, customer is king. Are you a customer in any place?
Yeah.
Are you a customer in any place?
Yes.
So are you a decision maker? Who decided for you even to buy that cloth before you? Who?
It is you yourself.
So are you a decision maker?
Yes.
And whenever you are deciding to buy, say, a cloth which you are wearing right now, how do you decide? You look for the bad cloth. What do you do? You look for the best where you find it. How does one get the best? How does that person who gives you the best get it? Because he has done what? He has carefully, skillfully produced a good cloth. And you as the king decides to look for the best. Tell me if I've broken the meaning of the scripture I've just read.
No.
We are always looking out, oh, this is very professional. What makes something professional?
The good work.
It is basically good work. Just excel at what you are doing. And people are always looking out for very good work. I know some among you here, some have built, and you're always looking for very good builder, very good something. and you decide to take on somebody very good in what they do. Hello? We want to be rewarded? Look at what kings, when they decide to have something, they actually also do what? Pay for it. They do what? The kings decide to pay. What price do you pay for very bad work? What price do you pay for very bad work? You don't even want actually to do what? To pay for it. You don't even want it. You don't even get to that person. Now, are you seeing scripture coming alive? Show me a person who does a very good job. Show me a diligent person. And let me ask you a question. Can you get good skill without diligence? If you're not diligent in even your studies, what is going to happen? You're not going to learn. Diligence is like a fuel. Without it, everything breaks. Diligent. I'll tell you about the opposite of diligent now, but explain it later. The opposite of diligence is negligence. That's the opposite. And we have a tendency of being negligent in our society. It is such a prominent thing in our society. And we have accepted poor quality things around us. That's what we have accepted. So if you are diligent, the more you are after something, it will lead you to the next skill. Altogether. You increase in the quality of your what? Your skills. Because skill grows. You become better and better at what you do each time. Next, you are going to see what? Good skill is going to produce good work. Altogether. Now, that good work, you keep doing the good work. You keep giving the good work. First, the first one to appreciate your work is actually yourself. You should be the first to appreciate your work. But many times, in this society I've lived long enough, many people are not even confident in what they have done. Let him not see this. We are always working with a lot of cover-ups and a lot of makeups. You know, makeup, if you are pretty, you don't need to make up. You are just pretty. You know, you make up for what is inadequate. You understand? Yes. And a lot of our works is full of what? Makeup. Cover up, trying to such that somebody doesn't discover what is inadequate with it. And then when we do really good work, you are able to know you yourself. Yes. It is very good work and you are sure and what? Confident. Like Jacob was. Like who? Yes. Jacob was. Even his son what? Joseph was up in there. He did a very excellent job. And he had to be seated among the pharaohs of Egypt. And that very good work brings what? Gratitude. People become grateful for very good work. People appreciate good work. People are thankful for good work done. And when they are thankful as well, what does it lead you to? They become more friendly to you. Healthy what? Relationships are built on that. The goodness of you. The beauty of what you are doing. The value of what you're doing. It creates even more and more friendships with you. Healthy healthy friendships. Healthy. And people say, that's good work. Good work. So and so does good work. And with that, they also pay for what? It brings you the material many times we look for. Material, money. Money is really... because you get the papers, you know the papers, eh? And you convert them into a house, you convert them into a car, you convert them into airtime or whatever else. Maybe that is material. All of it is material, I know. How to get? And when you get them, diligence tells you, go back to, again diligence. Next, do what? Skill. You increase in skill. Next, you do what? Good work. The good work leads you to gratitude. More gratitude leads you to more relationships. More relationships. More relationships lead you to more materials. More material leads you back to diligence. Again, diligence leads you to... Are you seeing the picture? So the full picture of what we call rewards is all those things you are there. There are 6. Which one of them is not a reward? Or the other way is actually even to look at it halfway. Do you see diligence? Which is what you do, and then it leads you to having better skills, then good work. Then what happens? It leads you to gratitude, healthy relationships, and what? More material. What else do you need in life? Do you want to tell me? What other reward do you need in life? Members, that is the process we need now to understand. And we need to build. It holds together. Those 6 things move where? Together. You break one, you break everything. That is the system of the words. Okay, have your skills very nicely. Then do not know how to build relationships. What's going to happen? You'll be a skilled loner. People want to trust you with their work. How together, people? That is how the entire system operates. The system of the words. Any one of them missing, believe me, it breaks everything. Now, many times, what do we look to? The last materials is what we are looking out for. Unbothered about the rest, the other things. I want to get the money, but I'm not diligent at what I'm doing. Unbothered about the work I am doing. Unbothered about the quality of work I'm doing. Unbothered about the people involved. And what happens? We destroy ourselves. Members, there is too much to be done and very few workers. Too much to be what? Done. So much to be done. And so when we get together, and this thing is not about Mwesigwa or Mrs. Mwesigwa or Mrs. Kayondo, it's about our nation. And most importantly, it's about God. If we say for God and my country, it actually means that the primary agenda of our lives should be about God and for the building and restoration of our nation. And if we keep singing and praying, that little prayer, it is a quiet one, but it is still before us. Yet we keep praying it without knowing, without even giving a full attention to it. When we say, "Oh Uganda, may God uphold you," we lay our future in thy hands. What do we mean? Do we truly lay the future of our nation into his hands? But we keep singing and seeking, sometimes spiritlessly, just the words crammed. But that's a prayer by itself. Oh Uganda, may God uphold thee. You exclude God from the picture, you destroy our nation. Those who framed then were inspired by the Spirit of God to say the future of Uganda should be in the hands of God. The moment we deny God and don't allow him space in our lives, don't allow him space in our systems, don't allow him space in our economy, in our families or anything, everything else that comes forth is a destruction. We lay our future, all our children, the others here, into his hands. It's very important that we do so. Very important that we do so. Because it's only and only when we let God be in charge of directing us towards that future, which has always been very elusive, that we shall see the unity we cry for even in that national anthem. I sometimes choose to call it a prayer. Yes. Because the more we've turned away from God, the more disunited we have become.
Family Sense is on a mission of teaching God's truth for reforming marriages and building families throughout the nation. Stability of our nation can only be realized with well-founded families and marriages. We therefore invite you to engage in Family Sense gatherings. Should you have any questions or need specific assistance, please feel free to contact us on 0772 518 554 or 0754 73 4738. You can also email us on noregrets@counselor.com. God bless you. We look forward to seeing you next time.